Hello, everyone. I guess I'm live on Facebook and Instagram. I was just trying to troubleshoot a little bit. Hello, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So, for this month of July, we are going to discuss all about food as medicine. And for the four Wellness Wednesdays, I will start by answering some of the questions that I am frequently asked, as an Ayurvedic doctor, like one is how to use food as medicine. What is the Ayurvedic principle behind it? Should I be eating for my dosha type? Should I be eating for um, strength, or whatever the purpose is? So today we are going to discuss all this, and today specifically I'm going to teach you five simple Ayurvedic principles that everybody needs to follow if you want to use your food as medicine, right? So these are pretty easy principles, and these are not complicated, but you need to follow them on a regular basis. So number one is, eat to balance your doshas, right? So in Ayurveda, we talk about doshas. You've heard about the word dosha type. You have probably taken a million dosha quizzes by now, and most of you are confused. What should I do? Should I eat for my doshas or dosha type? Should I eat for the condition that I'm suffering from, right? So the number one thing to understand here is, see, whenever you do a dosha type quiz, it may or may not be accurate. A lot of the times, if you are doing it how you feel today, you may already be in a state of imbalance. So the number one thing to do is to identify the imbalanced dosha, right? And you have to eat to balance the doshas. That's the second point here, right? So if you are having a lot of symptoms related to certain conditions, if you have severe inflammation, it's always good to get the guidance of an Ayurvedic doctor who can help support you and tell you what you need to eat. But if you are in a state of balance, you will always focus on maintaining that balance by eating to balance your doshas, right? And doshas are the three bioenergies that we all have in our body. They represent three things in the universe. So they represent the wind, the sun, and the moon. Vata dosh or Vata dosha is the energy of the wind. It's the one that creates all the movement in the body. So any respiration, your locomotion, walking from one place to the other, you know, central nervous system, they're all governed by Vata, right? And if this Vata dosh gets out of balance, you will start experiencing anxiety, you will start experiencing breathing issues, you will start experiencing joint pain, right? So these are certain things you have to pay in mind. And if you are having a Vata dominant body type, or if you have an imbalance which is related to Vata, then you will follow a Vata balancing diet. And I have done extensive videos on each of the doshas. So if you are new here, please go to my YouTube channel, drmanjarinadkarni.com, or Dr. Manjari Nadkarni. And what you will find is, you'll find each dosha and what exactly to eat for it. Pitta is the sun energy present in the universe. In your body, it represents the fire, right? So your digestion, your metabolism, vision, they're all principles of fire. Your blood, right? If you have any blood related disorders, it is important to focus on this pitta dosh, right? So if you are somebody who's dominant in pitta as your body type, or if you're somebody who's having a pitta related imbalance, you will focus on eating foods that are going to balance this pitta. And the third thing is kapha, right? Kapha is the moon like energy. It's like a glue like nutritive substance in the body that's going to help heal, recover, restore the body, right? So kapha usually, is expressed as dominant in certain individuals whom we call the kapha type, and they are going to be seen with round face, larger bone structure, right? So if you have a kapha dominant body type, you will eat to balance kapha. And if you start getting conditions like excess of, cholesterol or triglycerides, or if you are struggling with excess weight, or if you are struggling with certain conditions like diabetes, you will follow a diet that is going to help balance this kapha. So this is the easiest way I can break it down. If you're watching this live, say a quick hi. If you are watching this as a replay, you can, definitely post your questions here. I'm going to take a comment here. So Nikita is asking, is there a way to find out what our body type is and does that change? That's a very good question, right? So our body mind type is known as Prakriti from an Ayurvedic perspective, and it is like the baseline that you're born with, right? So a Prakriti is fixed from the time of conception and eventually, but the doshas are very dynamic. So every single day, depending on what you eat, how you're sleeping, what your activity levels are, your doshas will keep fluctuating. And if you are struggling with any health issues, if you have any imbalance, then you have to understand that the prakriti has changed towards vikruti, right? So there is a questionnaire that I give to my clients to find out, what body type is, and it's a 44-point questionnaire. If you are interested, just send me a message and I will send you my 44-point questionnaire to find out exactly what your body type is. And you have to do that how you are, right? So prakriti is the fixed type that you have to know, that's your baseline. And when it changes, it is no longer prakriti, it's called vikruti or imbalance. So those are two slightly different things, right? But a prakriti will show a balance of certain or dominance of one or two doshas. There are also sama dosha prakriti, which means all three doshas are balanced. But whenever you have a dominant dosha or two doshas that are dominant, even in the prakriti, you will eat to balance those doshas. In case of vikruti, whatever is creating the problem, you will have to eat to balance that, right? So eating the food of opposite qualities usually helps balance it. Now, second point is, Agni or digestion, right? So, whenever we talk about food, whenever we talk about diet, it always is in context of your digestive fire. How much are you digesting, right? So, if you are having a strong burner, right? So, think about your digestive fire as a burner, and everything that you add, food or fuel that you're adding in your body is on this burner, right? So if your burner is nice and strong, then you can cook more food easily. You can cook heavier foods easily, right? But if your digestive fire is weak, then you will have to eat smaller quantities or lighter foods, right? So that is the one thing you have to pay attention to. So today, try to connect with your digestion, see if your digestion is strong or if your digestion is weak. So, what is a strong digestion? A strong digestion is something that will easily digest all the food that you eat at regular intervals, right? And that will make sure that you're also feeling nourished. You're not going to feel sluggish after eating. You're not going to feel tired after eating. If you feel drowsy, sluggish, tired after eating, it is a sign that your digestive fire is weak, and that is why it is not able to digest, and that's leading to that drowsiness, that's leading to fatigue, right? If you have an optimal functioning digestive fire, you will not feel tired after eating. You will feel energized after eating. You will feel satisfied, you will feel content after eating. And then the third type of fire is erratic, where sometimes you're hungry, sometimes you're not, right? And sometimes for some people, the fire is too strong that you're constantly hungry no matter what you eat, and you don't gain any weight, right? This is seen in certain conditions like hypothyroidism or even certain types of individuals. So, if you have a strong digestive fire, you have to make sure you're feeding it right to maintain it. If you have a weak digestive fire, you have to make sure you're eating foods that are not very heavy, foods that can be easily digested, and foods that will nourish your body. If you eat something really heavy when you don't have a strong fire, you will start creating imbalances in the body. And exactly one of the reasons why paleo or keto diet does not work for everyone. Paleo, which is a animal protein dominant diet, and keto, which is a high fat diet, both require you to have a very strong digestive fire. If you don't have strong digestive fire, the same food that you're eating will create a lot of toxicity, and instead of working as medicine, it will start working as a poison in your body and increase the inflammation and increase diseases. So that is the number second thing. Always eat according to your digestive capacity. Always see, are you feeling bloated, gassy after eating, or are you feeling really good after eating? And if you feel good, satisfied after eating, if you're not bloated, not tired, if you're hungry at a proper time, right, that will show that your digestion is good. I'm going to say a quick hi to Trish is here. Hi, Trish. Isha is here as well. Hello, Isha. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. And Nikita, I hope that answers your question. So please feel free to message me, and I can send you the 44-point dosha quiz for you. And you can definitely do, the quiz and see what's your um, body type like. Now, the third one is what is missing in today's world, right? Why people have lots of cravings, why people have lots of imbalances, and why are they not satisfied after eating the food is because they do not include all the six tastes in your diet. So in Ayurveda, we talk about six different tastes. We talk about sweet, salty, sour, pungent, bitter, and astringent, right? So these six tastes have to be consumed on a daily basis, because each of these tastes are going to feed certain doshas and balance the other doshas, right? Now, again, when it comes to six tastes, certain tastes like bitter are cleansing, certain tastes like pungent are extremely important for circulation, and tastes like astringent are extremely important if you're struggling with any kind of water retention. So, sweet, sour, salty are tastes that are nourishing to the body, especially the sweet taste. And if you're not having sweet tasting foods, and by sweet tasting foods, in Ayurveda, we mean everything that's nourishing is sweet. An example is root vegetables. Even dairy or meats will fall into the sweet category in Ayurveda, right? Again, the proportion of each of this taste, how much you eat, should be according to your doshas, what you need to balance. But for a general person, make sure you're including all the six tastes, right? A lot of the diseases that we see today are due to obesity or overnutrition, where you're eating too much calories but you're not getting too many nutrients, right? So an example is, if you eat the standard American diet, if you're eating burgers, if you're eating lots of meat, if you're eating fries, you're only getting that sweet, salty tastes, right? So for balancing that, you will also need the bitter taste, you will also need the pungent taste to help with the circulation and digestion and enhancing that your agni. So if you start thinking about your foods in term of tastes, that is really going to be beneficial to you. And again, if you are not sure what I'm talking about, please go to my YouTube channel. I have done each single video on every taste so far. If you go to 100 days of Ayurveda, I've covered almost all the tastes in the past, right? So please make sure, you are taking a look at those videos if you have no idea what I'm talking about, because it may be a beginner level for some of you. Now, the fourth type, right? So we've covered 3 points. First one we discussed was always eat to balance your doshas. Second, we talked about was eating as per your digestive capacity. Third is, including all six tastes in your diet on a regular basis, so you're not missing out, and also that your doshas stay in balance, right? The fourth one is to follow the Ayurvedic kind of food combining, right? So what is the Ayurvedic type of food combining? When you look at modern type food combining, often you will be asked not to eat, you know too many carbs with too many proteins together, or too many proteins with too many fats together, right? So from an Ayurvedic perspective, we are looking at how the food acts in your body, right? What effects is it having in your body? And that is why we will ask you not to mix certain things. Number one thing not to mix is fruits with any kind of dairy. So if you think mango lassi, which is the popular Indian food, is Ayurvedic, you are mistaken. If you think smoothies are really healthy for you, you are mistaken, right? So number one thing to do is avoid combining any kind of dairy, right, with any fruits or even animal products or fish. So the recipes where you're using like a lot of, maybe bacon with cream and pasta is a totally bad food combination. If you're having mango lassi, if you're drinking fruit smoothies with yogurt, that is a totally bad food combination, right? So I would avoid those food combinations. Mainly, again, there is a whole video on food combining on the YouTube channel today. Because of the time constraints, I'm not going to be able to elaborate on each and every point, but I'm going to follow with the basics. And the fifth way is to focus completely on your food and eat in a distraction free environment, right? So distraction free environment, because this is something I always talk to my clients and anyone that I'm giving advice, right? You have to focus on your food. The food you're eating is not only nourishing your body, but a part of the food that you eat is going to nourish your mind. A part of the food that you eat is going to help stabilize your senses as well. Because you're not focusing on the food, your taste buds are still going to crave that sweet. If you're struggling with cravings, whether it's salty chips that you're craving, whether it's the sweet foods that you're craving, it is because you are completely distracted. You are not, on the same page as the food is when you're eating the food. So you have to be completely aligned with the food. That is when you will understand that, okay, this is the effect that the food has on my body, and this is the food that's good for me, right? When you eat in a distraction free environment, you can enjoy all the six tastes. You can actually taste all the six tastes, right? No matter how much you eat and how healthy you think you're eating, if you eat in an environment that is full of distractions, where you're sitting in front of the TV, or whether you're reading a book or watching some series or listening to a podcast, it is not going to get digested completely because your mind is distracted. Your central nervous system, especially, the rest digest system, again, is not going to work well, right? So make sure you eat in a distraction free environment. You're focusing completely on the food, you're chewing the food, you're experiencing the food with all your senses. And that is how this food can nourish the tiny aspects of your being, including your senses, including your mind. And you will feel satisfied, and you will feel a lot more calmer and balanced. And this will prevent any cravings, and this will make the food you're eating work as medicine and not as a poison, right? So I'm going to quickly recap the 5 points I discussed today. One was always eat to balance your doshas. The second one is always eat as per your agni capacity, your digestive capacity. The third one is to always include all six tastes in your diet. Again, this can be in varying proportions, but it has to be all six tastes. The fourth one is you have to follow food combining, right? From an Ayurvedic perspective, the one thing always is eat fruit by itself, do not mix it with anything. And especially don't mix dairy products with any kind of fruits or any animal proteins. And the fifth one is always eat in a distraction free environment. And that will make sure that you're not just feeding your body, but the tiny aspect of food. One aspect of the food is going to nourish your mind as well as your senses and create that calmness and stability for you, right? So this is the main topic that we get started with today. I'm super excited because I'm working on something really exciting. I'm working on an entire course for food as medicine, and it will be launched much later in September. But this is like where we are going to get really deep into Ayurvedic type of eating, Ayurvedic system of digestion, Ayurvedic system of picking the foods that are perfect for you, understanding, assessing your Agni. So I'm actually working on the course underground right now, and I will make sure that I will launch it by September, right? So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer. And I think I just saw CEO here. Hi, CEO. It's been such a long time since I've seen you. It's awesome to see you online. So thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day. And I will be here next week at 12 o'clock today. I was a little bit early because I have a booking for an appointment at noon. But next week, we are going to talk about one of the most common questions that I have been asked. And we are going to discuss whether, animal based diet is better or is plant based the way to go, right? So while people talk about paleo diets and having animal protein at each meal, or animal protein is the most nourishing one, then on the other side you learn all about plant based foods and vegans and how animal protein is not the best for you. So what exactly is true is what I will be sharing next week on Wellness Wednesday. Also, follow me on Instagram. Like, if you haven't followed me yet, I will be talking all about food as medicine in this entire month to help you really, make the most of the food that you're eating. And I'll also be sharing a few things from my garden, which is blooming right now with lots of food and amazing things. So, thanks once again. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.